everybody, KC0VII Tom here, along with Little Duke. Don't stick that nose, I know where that nose has been at. We're going to do a little update here on the CJ1, the ComJot radio. My ComJot had a little bit of problem, and that's what we want to talk about now, is the customer service of ComJot. And I'll be honest with you what I think about it. I'm not going to hold back. Again, if you don't know, I pre-ordered the radio from Gigaparts, and Gigaparts made a little mistake. They sent a bunch of them out to you. They were only supposed to send them out to the beta testers, and they sent them out to a lot of other guys like me. And when I went to start it up, it was not, okay, the software's not right. And I got a hold of their tech support, and Joe Hamburger, sorry if I butcher your name, Joe, he texted me and says, hey, give me a call. I want to know what's going on with the radio. We started talking, and he explained to me that, yeah, you weren't supposed to get this, but you can use the intercom app that's on there. The radio will still work. He was being really careful because, here I spent this money on this radio and it's not ready yet. And he says, we're just giving out to the beta testers, and we got this little channel set up on Discord for the beta testers. And I said, you need another beta tester? He goes, if you want, that'd be great. We talked about what my history with E.F. Johnson. He thought that was kind of cool. And so I've been helping out with beta testing with the radio. And ever since I got the radio, every once in a while you key it up, you get a short transmission and a burst of static or digital. And it was just once in a while that it got more and more apparent. Then I noticed every once in a while the radio would just reboot on its own. And not being a day-to-day Android user, you don't like that, huh? You're chewing on my hand here. I wasn't sure, okay, this can't be normal for the Android. So I contacted their support service again, and they sent me a reply back to this, try this, a couple steps to try that, and responded back with what I came up with. And they said, well, okay, let's try reflashing the ROM. And it sounds like the ROM is something not right with it. And one of the last tests they had me do was brought up the version of the ROM, and he said, that's kind of an old ROM, but it should still work. So he sent me the steps how to reflash it with a link to the new ROM, and I couldn't get it to do it. So I made a quick video and sent it in. And again, all this went on in a matter of 3 or 4 days. I think on the 4th day, they responded to my video and stated, yeah, there's something wrong with that radio. And they included a UPS. I just had to print out it wasn't UPS, excuse me, it was the US mail. Print me out a label for it. I went down, slapped it on a box, and I dropped it in the mail that Saturday before Christmas. I remember Christmas is on Wednesday of 2024. And following the tracking number, they received it that following Friday after Christmas. So I thought, okay, that's not bad for the Postal Service. But then again, New Year's Eve day in New Orleans, I worked in tech long enough. I'm kind of used to having the week of Christmas and the week of New Year's off a lot of the tech companies I worked at. So I figured, okay, I'll just not, expect anything until we get more into the first, after the first year. Well, lo and behold, that Monday afternoon, I got a text from the support staff saying, hey, yeah, the ROM was corrupt. It was old. So we reflashed it. We loaded some apps on it, sitting on my desk here working. If you, okay with you, we'd like to leave it here and let it run in the office for a few days, then we'll ship it back to you. Great, yeah, let's make sure it's going to work right. So, I agreed to that. And then on New Year's Eve or New Year's Day, between that time of day it happened, they had that, I call it an incident, where you had a wannabe a Taliban. Some people are calling it a terrorist event down there in Bourbon Street. Our thoughts and prayers go out to all those people involved in that. And, so in that area was cordoned off, and it sounded like either the tech guys, they couldn't go into that area, and their office was somewhere close by, so, they couldn't get to work, it sounded like. And got a text from them saying, as soon as we get in the office, we'll take care of it and get it sent to you. I thought, wow, this is fantastic for a small company like this with the good tech support, the follow-up communication. You got to remember, I worked in IT for over 20 years at the small college. I managed what we call the user services area. We took care of all the computers, your phones, your VoIP phones, getting students on our network, loading software in the classroom, in the labs, running all the AV. Customer service is, you have to know it if you want to be, good, be in good standings with the president of the college. And so I'd say right now, they got an A or an A plus, even though, when I was teaching, I wasn't allowed to give A pluses, but, I'd give ComJot a nice little A plus for the speed they were working on and the communication. Then all of a sudden we went a little south. really can't blame them for the terrorist event down there. The area is cordoned off. They lost a day or so of work. Then the tech guy became ill. He got the flu, and it sounds like the same flu we got around here. It's pretty bad. You get stomach cramps, diarrhea, you dehydrate yourself if you're not careful. So he was out for a few days. Then we have the snowstorm. You know, who'd expect it was going to snow in January in New Orleans? And finally got everybody back to work down there. And he texted me and realized, okay, he thought he had left a message, one of the other texts, hey, get this in the mail and send it off to this guy in St. Ansgar, Iowa. And so he's got his radio back. Well, they didn't understand what the note was, so they didn't do anything. And so, you know, I had just gotten the radio back now with the new latest and greatest ROM. And right now I'm sitting here loading up all my apps back onto it. It works. I mean, I've been able to sit and talk to a couple guys on the local repeater. The VHF, hey, don't chew on the antennas, okay? You may have a dog for sale or dog giveaway. Yes. You want to be an Orland dog? So, you know, the radio does work. And like I said, I was a little disappointed on what happened there. And, you know, you're sitting there thinking about, okay, this is a small new company. I'd like to know how many other radios got returned to, you know, a possible problem. This might have been, hopefully not the very first one. Or it could be, you know, the first 10, we'll say. We had a standard process, and when I was in charge, when I was working on the user services, was that if somebody is out, first thing I would do is check their calendar, see if they had any appointments to install stuff for pickup equipment, check their tickets on the repair status, what they were working on, their service calls. If there was something urgent that day, I would, you know, either assign it to myself or one of the other techs. When I was sick, I had one or two of the other techs who do the same deal. And that didn't happen overnight. We learned the hard way. We had some stuff fall through the cracks, and we got, you know, taken over the coals by the department head. So hopefully that's what's going on down there. So we'll lower them down to a B, maybe a B plus. You know, the radio got here, you know, as soon as they said it would. I mean, you know, they apologized, they shipped it off, and it is working. Except, and I turned in a ticket on this. All of a sudden now my T-Mobile SIM does not work in this. It worked in the one I had before. I took it out, cleared the radio, sent it down there, came back, put it in, and now it recognized the T-Mobile network, but it does not recognize the T-Mobile service. And when I was putting the ticket on, I noticed there was another person had the same similar problem. So it might be a T-Mobile problem, not, you know, the ComJot Android side. So on that, hopefully I have a report on all the latest and greatest, since I've been out of the loop on this for about a month now, I guess, and month and a half maybe. And we'll get this now, a month now. Then we'll get this going back up and start running through. Just playing around with quick the other day. The scan feature is not involved yet. There are some new features on the website I noticed when I was playing around getting the radio re-registered and all this. And it's not the same radio I had. They did end up swapping it out. So the one of the times I was talking with the tech, texting back and forth, I asked them, okay, when are the accessories? You know, because I really like to have a drop-in charger. I'd like to see what the hand mic is, how the earpiece is like, and definitely may want to get an extra battery. And he says hopefully by the end of February, they're going to be, all that's going to be released to the general public through the normal channels and along with normal sales. So we'll have to see if, Duke, don't hit the mic stand. Definitely going to get rid of you, dog. So hopefully soon this will be out to the general public. It is a really nice radio. So on that, I'm going to keep playing away, keep programming everything in here the way I want it to. I did put that SIM temporary back into my B1, our Finder B1, and you know the SIM's okay. That was working fine, but when you put it in this radio, and it could be the Android side of it, I was going to let them, you know, see what they can do with it. Then I'll probably end up calling my provider and find out what's going on, and we'll go from there. So again, still, I'd say, if you're looking at buying one of these, go ahead and, you know, as soon as they get to the open market, I still see HRO and Gigaparts are taking pre-orders. I was hoping there'd be more information down at Hamvention. I was watching all the videos I could find coming out of Hamvention and didn't see anything about the new CJ1, but they're still coming out. Hopefully I'll come see, you know, what other people are saying. On that, I'm going to try to get some playtime. We're expecting a couple of good-sized snowstorms up here. We're finally getting snow up here in the Midwest after it's covered up the South a couple times. 7-3, everybody. Take care. Be sure to tell your friends, neighbors, other hams. subscribe, hit that bell to get notification when new videos come out. Add comments below. 7-3, everybody. In 3, 2,